For thousands of years, horses have held a special place in human hearts, an inseparable part of our history, defined by ancient friendship, loyalty, and affection. That is, of course, in addition to their breathtaking beauty and extraordinary grace. They were created with a masterpiece of beauty and speed. Yet we constantly hear about a horse being put down with a mercy bullet just because it broke a leg. Have you ever wondered why a broken leg is a death sentence for such a massive, powerful animal? In the era of modern medicine, where we hear about heart transplants and cancer treatments, why is a fractured bone in a horse's leg still a capital punishment? First of all, hello everyone and welcome to About Animals channel. To understand why a broken leg is a catastrophe, we must first look at the unique and miraculous design of the horse's body. It is a masterpiece of bioengineering designed for one purpose: high-speed movement over long distances. To specialize in this role, the horse cannot afford any excess weight in its limbs. This design allows a horse weighing over half a ton to exceed speeds of 40 miles per hour, with some racehorses reaching nearly 45 miles per hour. The problem, however, is that these bones are both lightweight and incredibly rigid. When they break, they don't just snap like human bones. They shatter into tiny pieces, much like an ice cube dropped on the floor. In medicine, this is called a comminuted fracture. The disaster is compounded by the fact that 60% of a horse's weight is concentrated on its two front legs. If a horse weighs 1,100 pounds, the front legs alone carry 660 pounds. As mentioned, for speed, there is no extra weight at the extremities, no muscles to protect the bone or absorb shock. It is just skin, bone, and tendons. Once a fracture occurs, there is nothing to hold the structure together, and the horse's immense weight turns the break into a mechanical nightmare, like trying to glue a concrete pillar that is supporting a skyscraper. But that isn't the only obstacle. Any doctor will tell you that healing requires blood. Blood carries the oxygen, antibiotics, and immune cells needed to fix the damage. In humans, bones are buried within a layer of muscle and fat that supplies the bone with the blood it needs. But look at the lower leg of a horse. There are no muscles. This creates two crises. The first one is the poor blood supply. The area naturally has a weak circulation, so healing takes forever. In some cases, cells die before the bone can even begin knit back together, which is called necrosis. The second thing is the infection, because there is no flesh to protect it. A severe fracture often pierces the skin. The moment the bone touches the air, bacteria reach it, leading to a dark tunnel called osteomyelitis, or the bone infection. Since there isn't enough blood reaching the area, even if we give the horse antibiotics, they don't reach the fracture site in high enough concentrations to kill the bacteria. This results in bone decay. Even if plates and screws are installed, they can become contaminated and must be removed, causing the bone to collapse again in an endless vicious cycle. One might say, simple, just keep him lying on his side until he heals, like we do with humans. Unfortunately, the answer is no, due to a physiological dilemma. A horse is designed to stay standing, even while asleep. If a horse lies on its side for too long, its massive weight compresses the muscles and nerves on the side touching the ground. Within hours, it develops compartment syndrome, where muscles die from lack of blood and nerves atrophy, leaving the horse paralyzed upon waking. Furthermore, a horse's digestive system is a massive fermentation factory that runs all day long, and its function depends largely on the horse's movement. If the horse remains recumbent, the intestines can twist, gas builds up, and the intestines can literally rupture, leading to an agonizing death. The lungs also cannot handle the pressure of the horse's own weight, leading to respiratory failure or pneumonia. In short, if a horse lies down to rest its broken leg, it dies of kidney failure, colic, or paralysis. Even if you aren't convinced yet, there is a more dangerous factor: supporting limb laminitis, or SLL. If a horse breaks its right hind leg, that 100-pound weight shifts to the left hind leg. Since a horse isn't designed to stand on one leg for long, the blood vessels in the healthy hoof are compressed and shut down. The sensitive tissues inside the hoof, called laminae, begin to die from lack of oxygen. The hoof wall then separates from the bone, and the bone can actually rotate and pierce through the bottom of the foot. This causes unbearable pain with no effective cure, and the mortality rate reaches 77%. Even if we decide to perform surgery, the biggest challenge isn't the operation itself. It's when the horse wakes up from anesthesia. Horses are prey animals by instinct. Their brains are programmed to flee if they feel danger. Unlike humans, who wake up groggy and relaxed, a horse wakes up in a state of panic, wanting to stand and run immediately. Imagine a half-ton animal, disoriented and terrified, thrashing around the recovery room. This violence is enough to shatter the very bone the surgeon spent 5 hours fixing, if not breaking the other legs or even its neck. This isn't just about money, but the costs are astronomical. Consider Barbaro, the 2006 Kentucky Derby champion. He was worth millions. When his leg broke, it completely shattered while he was racing, and his owner spared no expense. He was taken to the world-renowned New Bolton Center, where famous surgeons installed a plate and 27 screws. Technically, the surgery was a success, and the fracture began to heal. However, months later, Barbaro developed laminitis in his healthy leg, then in his front legs. Despite every effort, the pain became unbearable. In January 2007, they made the decision for humane euthanasia. Barbaro's story is taught today as proof that even with millions of dollars and a world-class team, there are biological limits you cannot cross. Beyond medicine, there is the economic side. A complex fracture surgery can cost $10,000, followed by months of intensive care, daily bandage changes, and physical therapy, bringing the bill to $50,000 or more. Insurance companies often include loss of use clauses. If a racehorse can no longer race, the company may consider it a total loss and force the owner to choose between paying for treatment out of pocket or euthanizing the horse to collect the claim. Finally, we must address the horse racing industry, the sport of kings. Statistics show that for every 1,000 starts, there are approximately 1.5 to 2 deaths. In the US alone, it's estimated that 2,000 horses die annually from racing and training injuries. The industry focuses on speed, leading breeders to produce horses with the lightest bones possible. Glass horses. When a horse's athletic career ends due to a break, and it's no longer economically viable, euthanasia is chosen not always out of mercy, but because its economic value has dropped to zero. While technology is advancing, with surgeries performed on standing horses and robotic lifts, these are not yet widely available. Until a radical solution is found, euthanasia remains the bitter medicine in the vet's bag. It is the last resort to prevent a horse from a slow, agonizing death from bone rot, hoof sloughing, or relentless pain. That is why, if you ask any horse owner about their greatest fear, they will tell you it is the news that a horse has broken its leg.